This video shows the starting up phase of working in the studio. Here we have the amplifiers and the DA converter, and they're off. First we switch on the preamplifier and the DA converter. And we start up the sub amplifier, and in two phases the main amplifier. This, and the slow start off. On, and somewhere among the wires we have to start up the main DA converters. The USB connection, difficult with one hand. Upside down, of course. It's almost like it doesn't want to be connected. Alright, there it is. And then we start up the DA converters, mixer, and lexicon effects. Okay. And we have this little DA converter here, run by USB power. So light goes off, then it's on. Okay. And then here, this machine already runs some connections on the mouse on top, and that's the server machine, i7 machine, original i7, 3.1 gigahertz. And we're now going to start up the mixer connection over USB. Connection is here. This connection is a bit hard to see. USB connection from the mixer. Q-jack control. Input device. MGXU. Output device. MGXU. 96 frames, okay. And we start the jack on the server machine. Good. So that's done. We prepare the notebook for startup. So an i7 and the big machine. This one, hard to read. Fast i7. So let's start them up. This one. They both boot Linux. Both are connected to a gigabit switch, which is then in turn connected to the to the Internet Hub. Okay. Preparation on the notebook. Must be super user for this. Mount a couple of partitions. And here the graphics card is still on the notebook. See that here? 41 degrees. And now tell the kernel to switch it off. Temperature gauge is disabled, comes to -1 degrees. Alright. Prepare a window for working with. Starting up what we wanted today. It's right here. Put a few environment variables on. Prepare the QJack for this one. And as we see here, that is on net 1. That's the network protocol, a simple network protocol from Jack on Linux. That's prepared. There are no connections here yet because we need to set up the connections via the server, which of course also is connected to the switch. And we have the big machine, the 12-thread machine. The mouse will cooperate. Yes. Also we need a partition with the Jack stuff on it, which we put on. That's it. We'll need to put the server and the fast machine on a fast mode. This, maybe that's not well readable. This is CPU power on demand, but we need CPU power performance. Let's put it on already. In the other window, we need to go to the proper directory, and we also need QJack control to prepare the network connection, and Jack. Jack is the Linux audio program for professional use, or semi-professional use. Okay, and then we need to start up the proper script, which is here. This one we'll need to start up once we have connection. Also here we see no, not showing any connections yet. All right, so here we prepare net source big machine, which is creating 12 networked audio connections of 96 kilohertz, 32-bit floating point per channel, 12 in, 12 out, and it goes to the big machine with a certain name. Then we see here that the new connection becomes visible. It says here remote connected, and here we have seen remote 112, 1 to 12. That's not really necessary. For the moment I use them, but could be done a bit more efficient. and the other one. Code remote 1. And then let's start some of the software we're going to use up. So here we have a script 2, a script that starts up the processing, the audio processing tools that I'm using on this machine. The notebook, goes, meters, all kinds of racks with audio processing tools. More meters, jamming, FFT-based mastering tool. And now we see here, there are no connections yet. So I give it a command to connect itself. All the proper connections are then made. Now it's up and running. Let's, the meters in view. Here too we have prepared to run a big script with a lot of processing tools. First we put it on performance mode. Oh no, we have done that already. There it goes. During build up, the meters are hidden. I didn't put them in a particular place during startup. That's possible, but it's not done yet. Those were the connections. This all happens automatically. I did nothing. I typed nothing and I didn't use the mouse. More meters. Carla instance. Don't need to see that on top now. Two jam-ins. Also running at the same clock for 96 kilohertz audio clock and 32 bits floating point per left and right, or per connection. This is the connection graph which just started up. Everything seems okay. Here's the network connector. This is the goes to the network. The other one is here. Comes from the network connector, not all used. Then we run the audio tools on the server, where all the USB connections are to the analog equipment. Meters, a jamming, so the connection graph, it's not connected yet, and a number of Carla plugins. It's the most recent Linux audio tool. It comes. Let's keep an eye on the temperature. Everything is alright. And I look at the connections. And I need to do some more stuff, which I'm not going to do at the moment.